Meeting is being held in accordance with public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the township website. I would like to invite Union County Vice Commander of American Legion, Post 228, David Penna, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask that you please remain standing for a moment of silence for all those who serve our country, both near and not so near. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Capides.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Present.
Committeeman Huber. Committeeman Laufer.
Present.
Committeeman Weber.
Here.
Thank you. A couple of announcements to start our meeting. Pizza with the Police, Tuesday, May 23rd, 5 to 7 p.m. at TD Pizza. One free slice per person while supplies last. Get them before they're gone. Memorial Day is Monday, May 29th. Ceremonies at 10 a.m. at Veterans Park, followed by a parade to the high school, free hot dogs and drinks by the Springfield Hillside Elks Lodge, number 2004. An exhibition game will be played on the turf field. In case of rain, the ceremony will be held in the high school auditorium. And join us for the Pride Month flag raising event, Wednesday, May 31st at 4:30, Chisholm Front Parking Lot, RSVP on Community Pass. Questions, call 973-912-2227. And lastly, I have asked Committeeman Laufer to read a proclamation for Jewish American Heritage Month. Committeeman.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy to play for the team today. Whereas Jewish immigrants to America ever since the first arrival on our shores on the 16th century have played a central role in the creation, growth, freedom, prosperity, and strength of the United States of America. And whereas the biblical and contemporary history of the Jewish people and the enduring values of the Jewish faith were vital sources of inspiration for the founding of the United States, the Civil Rights Movement, America's global leadership in the cause of freedom, America's commitment to social justice, and many of our country's most central tenets. And whereas Jewish American Heritage Month is a month to celebrate the contributions Jewish Americans have made to America's history, society, and culture for over 350 years. And whereas for 42 years, every president of the United States has declared a period of time for celebrating the contributions to the United States of the Jewish community's history, heritage, and culture. And since 2006, the month of May has been declared by the President to be Jewish American Month, pursuant to bipartisan resolutions of Congress. And whereas we are reminded that the vibrant culture of the Jewish people has not only been embraced in a country where diversity should be cherished and protected, Jewish communities continue to deal with hostility, hatred, and narrow-mindedness. And whereas Jewish Americans have been critical part of the American story, greatly impacting the cultural, economic, and intellectual advancement of all people. Even while in the face of discrimination and adversity, they've shaped our nation and helped steer the course of our history. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Christopher Capides, Mayor of the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby proclaim that May 2023 as Jewish American Heritage Month. And on a personal note, I want to thank every organization that helps people, not just Jewish people. And thank you to the town for being a part of a growing number of communities to recognize Jewish American Heritage Month.
Thank you, Committeeman. Lastly, on a somber note, the township extends condolences to former Mayor Stanley Case and his family on the passing of Stan's wife, Lois, aged 91 years. On Friday, May 5th, the Case family has been in Springfield since 1961, and Stan and Lois were married for 65 years. A graduate of Cornell University, Lois dedicated herself to the community service and was an active member of Temple Beth Ayam Israel. And again, our sincerest condolences to the family. Fantastic. Really are. Now we're going to move on public comment portion of our meeting on agenda items only. Anyone from the public wishing to comment and any public on any items on the agenda, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. You'll have 4 minutes to speak, after which the Township Committee may respond. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion of the meeting and move on to reports. John?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to show you a quick little update on the Hershey building, which I think everyone knows was destroyed in the last flood. So I just want you to see, this is kind of what we were facing when we got flooded. You can see the floor is full of dirt and water. We ended up having to tear everything out, as you can see here, down to the studs in order to remove everything. So everything was gone. We had to, including the floor actually, which was cement. We still had to put a new floor in. And today, this is what we're looking at now in the new office there. This houses our DPW director and his 2 employees that work, their supervisors that work there. And again, I think as everyone's aware, the Hershey building, because it's built over the floodway, we could not sell it. We can't expand it. And we do need it. We've got, don't forget, on the back of that, there's cold storage. We put a lot of our equipment in, like all of our plows and everything go in there over the summer. So they're out of the weather, which extends the life on them. A lot of our smaller equipment's in there. So it's really a critical part of our DPW, what we need. There's the outside of the building. We had it actually stuccoed and new sign put up on top of it. And all of this money came from insurance, basically. I think probably, Di, I don't remember if we had to use a little bit of building and maintenance, but the vast majority did come from insurance.
So I wanted to make just a couple of the public, members of the public aware. I know this damage has been done due to the flood, but I think it's also important for the public to understand that Public Works is one of the last buildings that got fixed. Only because, and a credit to them, their priority was to fix the rest of the infrastructure for the town. Namely the library, which they became their own contractors for, to make sure the library was completely up and running before even they touched their stuff. We were very fortunate to have them, housed within the community pool so they could work out there for a while. And from what I understand, they are not done. Not only were they their own contractors for the library, they were their own contractors for this building. And I understand that they're going to do further improvements to the landscape outside. I think they have future plans to do to the cold storage floor, all within that development. So when you see that, again, it's just important to realize that they did all this on their own, only after the rest of the township infrastructure was back to normal after the storm.
This was the last building.
Yeah.
Quick comment, life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. We got dealt a huge blow that we did not want with that storm and would never wish it. But in all honesty, it did help us clean up this building. And that outside looks so much better than it did before. And that new stucco and lettering, it really pulled it together and a nicer addition.
And as the mayor
to
said,
the downtown.
Mr. Kaiser, if you look at the side where you can see a little bit of the white on the right-hand side, that building goes this way and then it comes across. We're eventually going to get that done also.
We'll work our way.
Yeah, we just, again, we're going to actually stucco it so that it matches the front of the building.
It'll pull it together very
Yeah.
nicely.
And what we did, we raised the floor, so if we ever get water again, we won't have a problem here. On the sheetrock, when we put it in, we actually put a cut in the sheetrock so it can't wick its way up the wall. We're not planning on getting flooded again, but just in case. So that building is pretty much done now at this point. So we're very pleased with having our guys back in there. We got a much better base for them. Because, don't forget, in a snowstorm, a lot of times, Robbie and the guys are there 24 hours a day. They stay there for days at a time. This building was extremely rough before this. If you saw it, even when it was at its peak, when it was good, it wasn't good. So it's much, much better now.
Job well done.
Moving on, I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things. Our tennis courts at Laurel, they will be done hopefully this week. We're in the final phase of paving, and then we've got to color them and line them. We're hoping by the end of the week, maybe those will be done. Right now, they've been excavated. New paving had been put down. and we've got some other work that's been done there. We're also looking at the tennis courts at, and I want to say, and I don't want to say Ruby, I want to say, where are the other ones, Rossner? Yeah, we've got some work we're doing there because we had a little money left over from Laurel, so we're going to spend the money there. We need some new anchors and some other work done there, so we're going to get that done. I just wanted to touch briefly on what we're up to right now. Our crews are maintaining all the parks, the ball fields, and all of our other township properties. We're paying extra attention right now to Veterans Park for Memorial Day. Hometown Hero banners will go up this week and remain through Veterans Day. In-house maintenance. Contractors are replacing the second boiler. We have both boilers in this building flooded. The second boiler is being replaced right now. That gives us 2 new boilers, and that was also from insurance from FEMA. Same contractor is also replacing one of the older AC units that covers the back office and the hallways on the first floor of the PD. We did some road renovations, were just completed. That was High Point, Hampshire, Edison, Wilson, Waverly, Glenview Drive, and both sides of the Main Street Bridge were paved under a DOT project. We're continuing to do repairs on our sewers. One thing that we've been doing is we've been doing the manholes over. They've been coated. We've now done, actually, how many have we done? We have completed over 60 manholes to this date. What they do is they put a coating on the inside. It stops the water from infiltrating, because what happens is when rainwater goes in, it goes to Rollway Valley. We get charged for that. Although it's clean water, we're paying to get that cleaned again. So if we can keep it out of the system, it actually keeps our bills down from Rollway Valley. I think that was all. I did want to touch on our infamous project at Gomes up on the corner, just to give you a quick update. This past 2 weeks, they've backfilled all along Caldwell. Morris Avenue now is about 90% backfilled. Once that gets done, we're going to push the fence back. The sidewalk will be open on Morris Ave. We've met up there. Actually, we were there again yesterday. We have a meeting on Monday there also. But yesterday's meeting with my disco and myself, what we discussed was having a scaffold now put up on the Caldwell side. We got to see how much can fit. He's going to come up with a drawing for us. Mike's going to review. We'd like to move the Jersey barriers inside the wall, be able to take the wall down and open the sidewalk up back on Caldwell. They've also laid the basement on the Caldwell side. This week, they put up the decking on the Caldwell side. They also spot welded the pins and put the wire mesh in. Friday, they're going to pour, the decking will be poured, the cement will be done. So that first floor will actually have a floor in it. As of today, when I was up there, they actually turned the corner, and the decking now is being put up on the Morris Avenue leg. They also built a block wall on the Morris Avenue side where the steel goes into. So that has to be done. And then next week, they're starting to work on the Center Street side to put the wall up there. So we're making progress there. We're also working on demolishing the old salon that's on site. So that is a daily visit. And I can tell you that our redevelopment attorney has been up there with us every week. We've got a conference call on Wednesday with our own people, and then another meeting on site with the owners on Monday morning. So if there's any questions or comments, I'd be happy to answer.
Do we have any letters about the wood?
Yes, the wood has been inspected by, and I'm not sure if it was the manufacturer or the person that they bought the wood from, like Jaeger Lumber, and the wood is still usable.
How often is that? Well, no, never mind. I had a question and it's gone.
Thank you for Laurel. That was going to be a question. So thank you for anticipating.
No problem.
And we appreciate it. We appreciate the updates. Usually I give an update the first meeting this month. I'm gonna give it the second month because we've had a lot of updates for some court proceedings. And again, I appreciate your diligence and the diligence of our redevelopment attorney and all your entire team for staying on it. You know, there is a lot of work being done. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of visible work, but I think as the further we get on in the progress of our project, you will see more and more personnel on that site working.
We're up there every day encouraging them to keep moving. And again, we've hired, as you mentioned last time, we hired a construction manager consultant. He's working with us to make sure that we're working on a schedule, make sure the sequence is being done properly. We're going about it the proper way. So we'll keep you guys abreast of any changes that we see.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Minutes and reports. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt the regular meeting minutes of January 10th, the regular and executive meeting minutes of January 24th, the regular meeting minutes of February 14th, and the regular meeting minutes of February 28th, 2023 as emailed. Good job. That's probably a lot of work.
Very behind. All in favor?
Aye.
No business, no.
New
first
business.
Or second readings tonight. It's all resolutions. If you have, we'll approve them by consent agenda. Please, if you need something pulled, call it out. Resolution 2023-141, 142, 143, 144, and 145. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt
Hold
the,
on one second, hold on one second. 145? Yes, 145 can be pulled. My apologies. I have a motion, please.
I will make a motion to adopt Resolution 2023-141 through Resolution 2023-144, and consent agenda.
I have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber? Yes. Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes. Madam Clerk, can you please read Resolution 2023-145?
Yes, this resolution accepts the retirement of Nancy Trieber and approves the coverage of medical benefits for her and any qualifying family members in accordance with the applicable collective negotiations agreement, the Township Code, state and federal law.
Do I have a motion?
Can I?
Do I have, yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
Do you have
you-
a second?
Second.
Sure. Committeeman Laufer, you wish to speak on this.
So when I was a kid, I went to the building department with my parents, and Nancy was the first person that I met. And then when I became a township committee person, she said, "I know you," and that was a lot of years later. So I just want to recognize Nancy for her many years of distinguished service for the town. Thank you, Nancy.
You go, I'll close out.
I know Nancy right from on this committee. My wife worked with her, she's been there all the time. You know, yeah, and I've called her hundreds of times since I've been on this committee. And she always gives me back the answer. She never shied away from anything and all that. I wish her and her family good luck. I know she'll be greatly missed. Good luck.
Anyone else? No, you know, it's always fun to walk into the buildings department. I have a lot of fun with everybody over there, and I do like to bust their chops. But Nancy is always nice and always welcoming, and always does have some comment to say, and I appreciate her, and she will be missed. And I know a close friend of our clerk, so she has always been very sweet when I've been here. So. Best of luck, and you know what? Enjoy some life, right, outside of the township.
Excellent. Congratulations. Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser? Mayor Capides?
Yes. Discussion and action items.
I will make a motion to discuss and then vote on a request from Heather Sanford for the use of a courtroom on Saturday, December 16th at noon for Wreaths Across America's ceremony. I make this motion regrettably, not because of Heather Sanford or the Wreaths Across America, which is a great ceremony, but I cannot believe that we are already discussing an event on December 16th when the summer has not even started. So with that, I will make this motion, but...
All right. All in favor? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right. And let's pay some bills.
Oh, this is the best part of the night. I will make a motion to adopt payroll and invoices for the period of April 26th through May 9th, 2023, in the amount of $19,948,787.06.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber? Yes. Mayor Capides?
Yes.
Mayor, can I add one thing I forgot?
Sure.
If I may? I just wanted to remind everybody not to throw things in our sanitary lines that don't belong. We had a tremendous amount of rain not this past week and the weekend before, surcharged our sewers. And what we found in one of the blockage was a diaper somebody had thrown down the toilet. It's not gonna make it, guys. It doesn't go through. We found a diaper, we find a tremendous amount of wipes. And the other thing we're finding now is the Swiffer, the pads. People are throwing those and flushing them. They just don't disintegrate. So you're causing backups, and we don't know it until it happens, unfortunately.
And that's your tax.
Committeeman Huber, we could go out there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Yes, we do.
But we can't be in every section of the town. People have to understand that.
And the problem is, if we're out there at 9 o'clock, for instance, somebody does it at 10 o'clock, we got a problem. So just please don't do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Correspondence, we have one from Borough of Kenilworth. Planning Board meeting, May 11th at 7 PM. Site plan approval and bulk variance relief. Block 6, lots 1.01 and 1.03, Block 23, Lot 2, Block 24M, Lot 1, and Block 62, Lot 1. Another correspondence from Westfield Land Use Ordinances 2023-17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 by way of introduction. I ask that these please be received and filed. And lastly, we are on public comment of any governmental issue. Anyone from the public wishing to address the Township Committee on any governmental issue, I ask you to step forward to the microphone. You'll have 4 minutes to speak, after which the Township Committee may respond. No one saw that.
I'd like to thank you for not holding a 6-hour meeting like our friends in Summit. Apu, 220 Shumpike Road. I will email it to you as well, but I wanted to extend an invitation to the Township Committee. We're holding our open house for the First Aid Squad on Sunday, May 21st, which is the first day of EMS week. So from noon to 5 p.m., you've graciously allowed us to close North Trivet Avenue, and we'll have some events, and we'd like to invite you and the vast public to come.
Thank you.
There's also a blood drive the Friday before at Chisholm from, I believe, 1 to 7 p.m. So.
Is there an age on the blood drive?
There is, and I do not recall exactly. I think it's 16 to 18 needs parental permission, and then above, and there's some, you have to weigh a certain amount. And
No, that was the question, because my son actually wants to donate blood, but I just didn't know if there was an age limit. He's 17.
yeah, you should be able to with parental permission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone?
I was to say, 6 people showed up at like the last 5 minutes of the meeting. Somebody's got something.
You're good.
Sorry at all.
This is exciting for us.
So, we live on Baltus Roll
I'm
Avenue.
sorry, I don't mean to
146
interrupt you,
Baltus
but-
Roll Avenue, Saraceno is the last name. I'm here because we had a problem with the sanitary system over, I believe it was Sunday evening into Monday morning. We had sewage coming into our basements for about 5 hours, 6 hours. But it's not the first time it's happened. That area between Park and Baltus Roll has a major T in it, I believe. And I understand there's sewage and there's diapers and there's oil, but, it's not the first time. We would like, I don't know, something, maybe some type of remediation to go through to see. I know the cleaning, they say, is not going to work, but maybe we can look at the configuration of what's there now and how to make it better.
How often has this happened to you?
I'm sorry, were you,
How often? It's happened, like, over the past 10 years, like 4 times.
What street did you say you were at? I'm sorry.
Baltusrol Avenue.
No, which one is, there's a couple of
There
Baltus
is
Roads. Which one is
Baltusrol
that?
Avenue behind Cohen Park.
Okay,
I think that's the one, Mr. Mayor, where we had the diaper.
Yes.
okay. Now,
But
I
it's
know
not only the
that,
diaper,
I understand.
it's Scotty's,
Well,
I
we can-
believe, is hooked up to there, and there's grease.
well, there's
And there's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
a couple of things that are in play here in terms of sewers. I don't know it all. I'm not gonna pretend to know it all.
Nor do I.
Okay, so some sewer lines from a certain point are the property owners, and certain sewer lines
And
are the street.
because the sewers were clean at the property lines going into the homes, all the sewage flowed into our homes. And it's, those are the other
And I believe
neighbors.
you. What I'd like to
So-
do, because, again, as you admitted, you or I do not know the
Right.
details. What I would like to do is, after the meeting, I would like you to exchange contact information with Mr. Basicolo,
Okay,
and that way we can engage in a discussion about, what had happened and what we could do to prevent things in the future.
and that would be great.
And I think Mr. Betcher was out there, but we'll get.
Yeah, I mean, we had guys out there, I called at like 12 o'clock, they came out pretty quickly, but it was just, I mean, it was bad.
It's already too, I mean, hey, we. not
It's
enough
ba- it's a
sympathy
bad-
for
it's
you.
a
just
bad situation.
Sure, absolutely.
If we can, I think, hey, if we can have an offline discussion with our, engineering and DPW, maybe
Yeah.
there is a potential fix.
We'll
with the
camera the
pipe.
lines
And that-
again.
Yeah.
And that's all we asked for.
If
It's like,
if it is a T and that's getting the
Yeah,
holdup,
we have the cameras, we can go, I mean, if we get the engineers.
I think that's a fair
I
request.
mean, none of us here would want that to happen.
No, not at all,
So-
and I get it, but I understand, I think the best move to make sure that we get to the crux of the problem immediately and to see exactly what we need to do to address the situation is a conversation with the professionals that know how to investigate them.
That would be great.
The 4 times that you said this happened, was rain a factor? in all 4 times?
Yeah, it was raining like crazy.
What happens is a sewer surcharge.
But,
We
yes.
get more water than we can take in.
No, I just want to make sure it wasn't on normal,
No.
this is,
It wasn't a normal day, and, but,
Sir, I'm gonna just stop you. We have a process and procedure here. If you'd like to come up.
come up.
You could come up and you can have,
Thank you, I'll get.
no,
I'll
thank you
change
very
it.
much.
Say when we're done, don't leave.
Steve Kuzmarczyk, 151 Baltusrol Avenue. I just want to say that when it rains, no matter the amount, all of our drains in our basements run slowly, and we think that it's our problem, that I'll put things down the drain, like, oh, Drano, it's because the hair of my wife, or whatever.
Right.
And it just lingers for as long as it takes for the ground to settle. And over the years, I thought maybe that was just us. And then you see this major problem happen, and it was a diaper this time, but one diaper didn't cause that amount of damage.
Right.
One isolated incident. It was over time, it building up, and then one piece of diaper made the final plug.
Right.
So
Right.
we just want some sort of action to say that that's not going to happen ever again, because none of us can control what other people put down the drain or what flows in, but we are responsible for the lateral, we are responsible for our own houses, but if it happens down the street, how do we address something that's not even near my house?
And,
It's just a sad situation for us.
and every single person up here commiserates with you and understands that. And we can go back and forth of the rationale and how has it happened, but none of us up here, unfortunately, is going to solve the situation tonight. And that's why I'm asking that after the meeting, we talk to our professionals. We'll have our head of DPW go out there, look at the line, see what happened, see what the cause was, and engage in a dialogue with you about what the situation is, what may or may not be causing it, and see if we can come to a collaboration on a conclusion of why it's happening.
Okay.
We'll
and-
come out and camera the lines.
Sounds good, but the one thing I want to just put on the record is that it was insulting to just get a letter in our mailbox that said, hey, somebody flushed a diaper, sorry about that, like, people shouldn't do that,
When did you get that letter?
on Friday.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
We have it in digital
We had Robbie
form.
address and send a letter
Yeah, so
out.
it's like, yeah, not our fault, but yeah, that's not
Well, then I,
that's
then
not
I,
acceptable to just say that we can't control what people put down the toilet. Like, I think that's just a cop-out, and just to say that sorry, but we're not it was a weird thing to get in our mailbox to say, hey, don't flush things down your toilet. Like, we know that, but it's not about that. It's about the actual infrastructure at the location we're talking about that has had problems for years now that Luigi has lived there much longer than I have.
Right.
And to know that this was a problem ongoing and maybe it could have been prevented.
You're right, and I apologize for the poor message that it was received. Okay, but again, I'm not familiar with the ins and outs and the infrastructure of the sewer lines, and that's why, again, I'm going to ask you to reach out and have them come out and investigate the situation and see what we can do to remediate the situation.
Thank you for
Okay?
your time.
Just a quick question, I don't want to get everybody do a informal poll. Was it just your one neighbor who came up, or did everybody get sewage that night?
About 6 of us, yeah, all of us here
Okay.
and
So what I'm going to do, and again, if you want to come up here and speak, I'll allow all of you to speak, no problem. But I think just for the sake of time and to efficiently address your situation and the unfortunate condition, I'm going to suggest to wait till after the meeting. We could exchange information, addresses, contact numbers, phone numbers. We can remediate the situation that's ongoing, and again, I apologize for it. And that's my suggestion. If you'd like to come up individually and speak, I'm not going to stop you, but I think that might, my suggestion might be a better way to address the situation. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you working with me on that. Anyone else from the public wish to make a comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public portion of the meeting and ask for an adjournment.
Motion.
I have a second.
Rich.
He did? Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.